drive her crazy, she my fucking rider. These hoes ain't got nothing on her.
Hey guys, it's your girl Lashay, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title, it's another story time. And I haven't published any story time since my last story time, and that kind of blew up. I think it's like 9,000 views right now, and it was like a roommate story time. Well, today I have another story time, and it's also a roommate story time, but it's gonna be my freshman year story time. The only thing different is I don't really have the proof anymore. Well, I have certain proof. I don't really have everything like I had for this year's roommate or last year's roommate, but I'm gonna try to put everything that I can. I'm gonna try my best. Everybody else kept requesting me to do more story times, so that's what I'm gonna do. And if y'all want like not relationship story times, but like, we can say relationship story times, or like, you know, different story times, I'll put y'all on. Well, before we get into this video, don't forget to give this video a fat thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you ain't subscribed already, and turn on that bell because you don't want to miss when I post more story times, because you just don't want to miss. But let's get into the video. So, I'm gonna start with my senior year in high school. Okay, so senior year in high school, it was like August 2016 was the start of my senior year in high school. So, around this time is when you start registering, like, or my bad, applying for colleges, doing all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know what exact date it was, but I applied for the school I go to now, and and I remember applying. I was happy, excited, and all of this. So, within a week or two, they sent it in the mail saying, you know, if you got accepted or denied, all of that stuff. So I got my letter, like a few weeks passed by, I got my letter. And in the envelope, it had like a Facebook group that you can join. And it had like a bunch of like the incoming freshmen, like, it was like a group to, I guess, help you, and like, we could all be together and not feel like, you know, we blindsided. So I joined it, and I don't honestly know how we created a group me. I think somebody, if I can find the screenshot, I think somebody posted in the Facebook group that we were gonna make a group me outside of that. And there was just a bunch of black people. Like, I can't even remember if there was any whites or like any other minorities. I cannot remember, but it was a bunch of black people in the group me. And y'all know, like, when there's too many black people, after a while you start butting heads. You know, it was chaotic. So August passed by, September came. I'm trying to figure out when I met her. It was either September or October. It might have been September. She was also in the group me, and she was cool. You know, she's black as well. I ain't gonna put her name out there because that's just my business and her business. But if you know me personally, you probably know this story because you was around me freshman year. But anyway, I met her, and we actually met through the group chat, and I didn't really realize that was her from Facebook until I saw it on GroupMe. So we was looking for roommates at that time. We all, you know, this cool, trying to make friends, you know, we had little cliques and all of that. So all I remember was it was a bunch of girls asking, who needs roommates, who needs roommates? So take that back, it was whites in that group. I just realized that it was a bunch. I had just realized that. Okay, but anyway, back to where I was at. So we hit each other up. I think she hit me up first, and she was like, hey, I saw you was looking for a roommate, and I was like, yeah. At this time, like, y'all know, like, I don't know why, but females get the most excited about dorms or moving to college, like college period, because it's like we turn our dorms into like a mini apartment / home. So we got talking, you know, it was cool, like we got along very well. But okay, then we started talking about like what do you call it? Like designs, the color scheme, stuff like that. So around this time was either October or November, you had to file or go back to the website, the school website, and fill in the housing section who was your roommate. And at first I put a random. I didn't want to do a random because I had planned on meeting somebody in the group. So we both logged on and put, you know, each other's ID number, ID information, stuff like that. And it was pretty much logged in. So it was football season as well. Let's not mention that. Let's not forget to mention that. So we was like, all right, let's meet up at this game. I can't remember what game it was. I don't know if it was homecoming or what. Now she's probably originally like maybe 3 hours from here, from where I'm from. So they came that weekend. I don't know if I met her parents or not. I can't remember. But anyway, we linked up at the game, you know. It was kind of weird because it was my first time meeting her. At the same time, like, I was kind of nervous and scared. I don't know why, y'all. But we met up, we linked, you know, it was cool. And then, October, November. Okay, I'm gonna say around November or December is when they announced this early start college program. So you pretty much come in, like, I think it was during summertime and you start school early. But it's called College Ready. If y'all know, if you go to my school, you know what I'm talking about. But it was pretty much where you come in a month early and it's a bunch of freshmen. So you pretty much only have classes with freshmen. I guess so you can get used to the campus, taking these classes, stuff like that. So I signed up, she signed up. And at that time we had made a bunch of friends already. Like I was already in cliques. We had made group me's and all of that. So not group me's, our message groups. So I was encouraging my other friends at the time. I was like, hey, y'all should join. It was only like $200 to sign up or something. I can't remember, something like that. And I was like, all right, bet. So I think the registration for that closed in February. But anyway, we had, you know, everything set in place. We was gonna move together for College Ready and school itself freshman year. We pretty much had everything planned out. Like we had a color scheme. I think it was like black, white, and pink. I'm gonna post the pictures or a video of my freshman dorm. Don't ask me why I didn't record this back then. I wasn't thinking. But anyway, we had everything planned out. Like I said, I had started meeting new people. Like, I don't know. It was just like, I don't feel like, how would I say it? I felt like I wasn't really, I don't even know, y'all. It's hard to explain. But I had met a bunch of people from like all across the world. I never knew I would meet them. So February was Insight Day, which is pretty much you come like certain, I think it was certain weekends. It was like from a month or two straight. Every weekend they had like different majors coming or different colleges coming. So me and her was somewhat in the same major. She did medical technology and I was in biological sciences pre-med. So it was like the medical field regardless. So we ended up meeting. It was me, her, and a bunch of other people, other friends we met in the group chats and all of that. So we linked or whatever. I'm trying to remember exactly because like I swear this was 2017. Yeah, this was 2017. Hold on, I met her parents. It was, yeah, her mom, her dad, and her. I don't know, I feel like it was still kind of weird, I guess, meeting because we've only met, this is our second time meeting. But we clicked, you know, we was, you know, talking just about every day. Like we was like best friends, just about, or so I thought. So, so that happened, that was like a Friday and a Saturday. So, you know, we met up with other friends in the group chat. You know, everything was going good. So I'm gonna fast forward from February to, I'm gonna say May-ish, June. So May-ish, June, like by this point, we have both graduated high school. We've had our graduation parties. You know, we've got, you know when you graduate, most times, I'm not gonna say everybody, but most times you get graduation money to go towards college, your room, like all of that. So we was both getting money, like racking it up. So I was like, all right, I got the futon, I got the room decor, you get the bathroom stuff. You know, we pretty much split up everything that needed for that room. We split it up. So, you know, it'd be equal. It wouldn't be like, oh, she's paying for more, you know, vice versa. So It was literally the very end of June. We moved in July. We moved in July 3rd because I remember it was the day before 4th of July. So we get there to move-in day. I think it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was like a Sunday afternoon. I remember this. I had just got from church, was rushing, trying to get everything packed up in the cars. And okay, we get there, she beat me there, but I didn't know because, I don't know, y'all. I feel like I was more excited than a kid in a candy store. So we get there, we had to go through all this registration, signing stuff, you know, like the housing deal with the lease, not the lease, but like a little checklist, make sure everything was good. So we moving stuff in, you know. She came by herself, her parents did not come. So she pretty much had to move all her stuff in by herself. So we unpacking, putting my futon together, get my bed together, just trying to get the room together. And I'm like, cause I noticed, I'm like, okay, why does she have more food than like the room? And I get you gotta live, you ain't trying to go all out for your room and all that, but we literally made not even a promise, we literally agreed to split the cost of the room because you wanted it to be cute. Like we had pictures and stuff that we wanted it to look like. So she gets there, I don't see nothing but like her personal items, food. I'm like, so where's the bathroom stuff? Like, I felt like I got cheated out on that part because I spent, I don't know, I was out some money because you know, the futons are not cheap depending on where you get it from. But anyway, so pretty much she fell short on that end by not getting the stuff for the room. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So this was the summer before school officially started. It was going to school, summer school. So it was, the next day was 4th of July. How would I explain this? Like, okay, it was pretty much chill and all that. It was Monday. So that night, how would I explain it? So pretty much we were, I want to just fast forward because at this point we had moved in, we knew each other, it was, you know, whatever. And I had agreed, you know, it was a bunch of people I had met from the group chats. And you know, I'm not friendly, but you know, I want to meet new people and, you know, socialize. On the other hand, she was like, well, I don't really want to meet nobody. I don't want no friends. I just want to be myself in my room. I'm like, okay, cool. So I had already had friends before. So we all linked up and went to the common area, like the kitchen, like the little common area on that floor. You know, we chilling, like that was like the hangout spot of the summer, the common area. So, it was just, I don't know, it was kind of awkward because she went down there. I'm like, I thought it was supposed to be roommates, friends, and all this, and you kind of being distant and, you know, whatever. And I'm like, you can't be homesick because you were ready to come up here. Like, make it make sense. So I'm gonna fast forward to the end of the summer. We had already had our finals and all of that. Like, it was about the time for the rest of the kids to come start moving in. So that day, moving day, I was not there. I had a family reunion back in my home, well, I wouldn't even say my home, my parents' hometown, or my dad's hometown, which is about 25, 30 minutes from here. So I was gone literally all day, like from probably like 8 o'clock in the morning until 11 o'clock at night. Cause I was doing other stuff and then I had got my hair done. And I get back and she was like, well, she was asleep when I got back. When I got back, I walk in the room and the room was it was totally different. Like, it wasn't even the same layout. Because when you walked in the room, the first thing you see is the bathroom to the right, the closets to the left. Keep walking and you see her bed and then my bed by the window. No. I walk in, she rearranged it to where her bed's on the window and I'm on the wall. I'm like, what? It's like, I didn't tell you to move it. Like, it was like the littlest stuff we would argue. So the next day, cause I got back home like 11 o'clock at midnight. So the next day I woke up and she was gone, or was I gone? I think I was going to church or something. And I texted her, I was like, hey, I didn't really like how you moved the room around. Like, I feel like that was kind of like, it just wasn't, it wasn't called for, but it wasn't right for you to move without my permission. especially without my approval, because you're not the only one living in this room like I am. And we had a big enough room, but the thing was, she touched my stuff without asking and all of that. So she was like, okay, well, I'll change it. And when I got back, sure enough, the room, was it changed or did I change it? I think she changed it. So after that, it was cool, you know, we said, school starts, everything's going good. Like, we literally used to eat lunch together. We did a lot of stuff together. Like, it was like this, like glue. We even had classes together. We had like 2 or 3 classes together. So we would kind of help each other, but we kind of wouldn't. Like, we did, but we didn't. So August, September is when everything started, you know. Okay, so I'm gonna say everything was going good until September. I don't remember exactly what date, but all I remember was I got a brand new phone. It was Saturday or Sunday. So that Monday, you know, I'm waking up, I'm like, you know, it's another day, another dollar, another day. So I have work and I have school. I literally came to the room at lunchtime to eat lunch and chill, just to relax, cause like it's hot outside. So I get there, I walk in the room. So I walk in the room and she didn't speak. Like, she was, I don't know what was wrong with her. I was thinking like she was just in a bad mood. She got some bad news, whatever. So I just walk on past her and go to my desk on my side of the room. And how would I say this? Yeah, pretty much that's what I did. So I sat down, I was on my phone or something, my computer, something like that. And all of a sudden she got up and left out the door, like slammed the door. I'm like, okay. And I would even say 30 minutes later, I got a text from my RA. And she was like, hey, me, you, and roommate need to talk. I'm like, about what? And she was like, we're just gonna have a meeting later on. So I'm like, okay. So that day passed, you know, and I'm like, what can it be? Because like I didn't really do anything to you. Like, we was just cool the day before, but now all of a sudden you're acting funny and got something to tell. So later on that night we had our little meeting, and I don't know if I have the recording. If I do, I'll put it in here. But later on that night we had our little meeting, and she was like, yeah, roommate said that, you know, you could just kind of talk loud and you're just very loud. And I'm like, what? Because first of all, I don't really have people over here like that. And when they are here, when they are over, it's not loud. Cause like all my friends were literally her friends. Like we had mutual friends. But then she started acting funny towards them. So she was like, I just really feel like that you were just loud and obnoxious. I'm like, what? And she was like, I'm just trying to study. That was a lie. So we just towards the end of the meeting, she was like, it was just like the littlest stuff you would think that she could have came to me about, but she didn't. So at this point, I'm like, just don't touch my stuff no more, don't talk to me no more, like, cause I'm heated, because you just didn't lie on me. We had a whole entire report in our file of housing because you went and told a lie. Now I said, you can simply move, because like, I haven't done nothing to you. If anything, I'm the only one cleaning this room and this bathroom. So what's your problem? And Ari was like, well, you can't just move off that. We have to have multiple infractions or multiple situations happening. And I'm like, y'all really want us to have more altercations to where it almost leads to fighting so y'all can move. It just don't make sense to me. But I told her, I was like, you can simply move. I don't care. And she wanted to move, but they wouldn't let her. I don't understand why they do that, but they wouldn't. So after that, we pretty much was like silence. Like, I swear it was just so tense living in that room with her. Like, I can't. So at this point, I tell my friends, you know, I'm still close with my friends at this point. I'm like, can y'all believe she really just lied on me? Like, who has time for this? You 18, almost 19, and you couldn't tell me this to my face? And it was honestly, I feel like, sitting back looking at this now, I feel like it was jealousy because, how to say, I didn't grow up, I grew up differently than she did, being that my parents were more, I don't know, they're more affectionate. I'm spoiled, or I get things, you know. I guess I'm really thinking into that because I got a car for graduation / my birthday. She didn't really, or she still had like an older car. I had just got a new computer after I had just bought one like a year ago. It was a MacBook. I had just got a new phone. Like it kind of made sense that she was kind of jealous because like I never did nothing to her. It wasn't fake. Like I was probably like the best roommate or the truest friend that she could ever have. And it was kind of like a slap in my face because you didn't did all this and then, you know, just starting up drama and mess. So after that, we just pretty much silenced each other. We didn't talk. We didn't do nothing. When I had friends over, I made sure we was on my side of the room. I didn't touch none of her stuff. Like, it was it. September, October. Her birthday was in October, I think. I don't know, y'all. I can't remember. It's literally been... Her birthday was then, so her family came. At the time, I had a boyfriend. I mean, well, I had a boyfriend that whole summer and on. But anyway, I had a boyfriend at the time, and it was kind of very awkward because he would come to weekends, you know, stay and then leave back Sunday. So it was just really awkward. So it's probably like November now, and it was close to Thanksgiving. So I think, I stayed because, you know, I'm from here, like I don't have to go anywhere. And she went home, so it was kind of nice to have that break or that space to where I can feel like, I don't know, feel like a relief, because like it was just really interesting how we were literally in that little room, and it was so tense because we just didn't get along no more. I didn't understand that. So during that little time we fell out, or whatever you call that little period phase, she did some sneaky and shady stuff that I probably would never do to a roommate. Not that I'm gonna have any more roommates, but she did some sneaky and shady stuff. She used to lie on me, create little Snapchats saying I did this and that, like I was dirty. And I'm like, how am I dirty when I'm the one cleaning up this room? I'm not gonna really say exactly what she said because it's nasty, and it's just, I'm not putting it out there, this is my promise. But she would have guys over. I'm like sleep, y'all. Like I am sleep. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and it would be different guys like every few days, and I'm like, I just can't do this. Like this ain't me, because I'm sleep. I am your roommate. I am a female. You could have been in the bathroom, the shower, or you could have walked out the room and he could have came on me. Like, you could have been smart about the situation. You could have went to his room. Like, we had no type of, you didn't respect me at all for you to do that kind of stuff to me or to put me in a situation. So this happened a few more times. And then one day I remember it was a Sunday. Me and my friend, I ain't gonna say her name, I'm gonna call her S. She probably knows this, but it was nothing bad. Okay, so me and her, it was just chilling. Like we did homework in my room. Like we used to, you know, we had friends. Anyway, S came over and was chilling. I was like, we walked in my room. I'm like, hold up, whose clothes is that? Cause I don't leave clothes on my futon. I never did. It was always clean for when I had guests over. Like just had pillows. I walk in, I'm like, whose clothes and shoes is this? So I texted, I was like, hey, I don't know what guy you had over or who you had over, but please tell your guests to keep their stuff on your side of the room, because then we had this agreement to where you stay on your side, stay on my side. So she was like, okay, I'll just tell them you can just throw it on my side. So I'm gonna put the video, the clip of me and S literally making a joke about the boys' stuff. And it was like he had clothes and dirty socks and shoes rolled up on my futon. Y'all, I was about up the hair with it. Cause like at this point, you're playing with me. You're pushing my buttons, you're gonna make me flip. And once I get to that side, it's over with. So it was just, I don't know, it kept building up. It was just tense. So I'm gonna say right after Thanksgiving, it was finals time. So at this time, we both just strictly in books. Like, we probably said maybe 2 or 3 words to each other since our little argument / altercation. So, finals time, I'm studying. She would have, like, closer to Christmas, she would really hardly ever be there. Like, I would literally spend nights in the room by myself. I would go to bed, wake up in the morning to class. She was not there. I'm like, okay, cool with me, room to myself. So, like I said, finals time, she started packing certain stuff or putting stuff up. I'm like, what is she doing? Does she not know we come back in the fall? Like, does she not need to leave your stuff here? So one day my mom was over or something. I can't remember. Yeah, I think my mom was over and she was packing up her desk stuff. Mom was like, you do know you can leave your stuff here? She was like, yeah, I know. I'm just packing it up. I'm like, So she moved out a few days after that. It was a few days later. But this time she called her mom and she was like, hey mom, I need some help. I think I ain't gonna be able to get all this stuff back home. Now mind you, I didn't mention this earlier, but mind you, me and her fell out / beef, hashed, whatever it was. I don't even know what it was. But she did not tell her parents, her siblings, and nothing. So when her parents came, she put on like a little show. Like, you know, we was cool. We was, you know, like nothing happened. She never told them. I'm like, who does this? Like, is she doing it for attention? I don't get it. So anyways, she moves out. Well, take that back. Before she moved out, her mom was up there and she was like, hey, and she was asking me something. And she was like, you gonna be here next semester? I'm like, yeah, I don't plan on leaving. This is the college I plan on being for the next 4 years. And she was like, yeah, well, roommate found her an apartment. So she's gonna be in an apartment. In the college I go to, y'all, if you're a freshman and you're not from the actual city that it's in, you have to be in a dorm for your first year. Like, it's a must. Like, you can't, ain't no way around it, nothing. So right there, I knew she was lying. And this is the thing that really got me. You are so-called, like, I ain't gonna say her religion, but you are so-called like this high person in a church. You're like a preacher's daughter, you know, all this stuff, but you do some of the most shady and sneaky stuff, you and your mom. It just didn't make sense to me. Like, some stuff I'm like, how, like, what are you again? You're a preacher's child and you're doing this you're doing this? Like, for instance, all them guys in the room, multiple times, different ones every night. But we ain't gonna talk about that. But anyway, her mom lied and was like, yeah, she's getting an apartment. I'm like, okay. I was like, I just went a long way because I knew she was lying. Like, they couldn't get this one over on me. But anyway, so she moved out. And then I had my other friend, I ain't gonna say her name either because we ain't even cool no more. But anyway, me and this person, she hit me up and she was like, hey, she also had a whole roommate. She had a whole room, can't even talk, y'all. She had a whole room to herself, being that her roommate ended up dropping out and going to another college or something like that. So she lived by herself all semester. So, and she had hit me up, she was like, hey, housing said they're gonna probably put somebody in my room coming up in January because I've had, you know, the room to myself. I'm like, she was like, so can we move together? I was like, sure, you can come over here, I guess. So she kept trying to. And I guess it never went through. And then she was like, just don't worry about it. So fast forward, like, me and her still had no connection, me and the old roommate, whatever. So January comes and I didn't have a roommate because I checked all Christmas break to see if they put somebody in my room. Nobody. So I get back, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna give it 2 weeks. And when 2 weeks get here, I'm putting my beds together. So that time, 2 weeks passed by, I put my beds together. I had a big bed. So I pretty much put everything together. I designed it the way I wanted to. Because I'm like, 2 weeks in now, you shouldn't be coming in as a new student or you shouldn't be having to move like that. It's 2 weeks in. So I did all of that. I was just living my best life. Like, I still had my same friends. We honestly just laughed back at the situation. So I'm gonna say probably about March, April is when we kind of had a falling out with the rest of my friends. I ain't gonna really get into that because, you know, it's nothing, it doesn't add to this story I'm telling y'all. But anyway, Fast forward to May, when the semester was over, like the first week of May. So we moving out and all of this. Pretty much I had a great freshman year, besides the roommate situation. But if I could go back, I would probably change the person I was rooming with, or probably would have looked around more for a different roommate rather than just sticking to one person and just jumping up and saying, hey, you should do this, you should room, you know, because I easily agreed with her. Because mom was telling me when I first met her, she was like, you sure you don't want to look around? You sure that's the roommate you want to be with? And I'm like, yeah, like me and her click. But y'all don't realize your mom or your parents know that. It's like they have that instinct where they can tell when something ain't right. But at the end of the day, I feel like this situation was all over jealousy and hate. It was literally something that she could have literally talked to me about, like, why hate or be jealous of somebody else? But it's 3 years later and I'm a senior and I'm graduating in like 2-3 more months. But anyway, I just want to tell y'all this story time because I thought it was kind of funny. And I know a lot of y'all probably had this issue before or had roommate stories, because clearly my first roommate story blew up and it's like 9,000 views, I think. Something like that. But if y'all have not watched that one, be sure to watch that one after this one, because I think you're gonna laugh at that one too. But if y'all want to see more story times, whether it be in relationships, just about anything, any kind of story times, let me know. Don't forget to give this video a fat thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already, and hit that bell so you don't want to miss when I post again. And also be on the lookout for some news coming very, very soon. That's it for you guys. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Don't nobody else get me, don't want nobody else with me. Please don't get it twisted. We ballin',